Hello everyone, I am Rajat Maurya, an intern at VLSI Expert Private Limited, and you are watching HSPICE simulation series. So far in the analysis part, we have discussed DC and DC sweep analysis. In this video, we are going to discuss about the transient analysis, and in the next video, I am going to explain AC analysis. So as I have explained before that transient analysis is nothing but the observation or analysis of the output data with respect to the variation of the time. That means that at different time instances, we are going to observe or analyze the output data. As we can see in this VT graph that we are pointing some voltages with respect to some time instances, that is T1, T2, T3 and T4. So this kind of analysis is the transient analysis. Now we are going to see that how are we going to apply this transient analysis in the HSPICE code. For that, I am going to take a simple example of an RC circuit in which I am going to apply a pulse. So we are going to apply a pulse as an input voltage source to the RC circuit and going to see that how the output voltage is coming up. So if we apply a pulse to a simple RC circuit, as we all know that it is a case of charging and discharging of an capacitor. So by applying this pulse, we are going to see the charging and discharging waveform of the output voltage through capacitor. So we are going to write code for the simple RC circuit in which we are applying pulse and going to see the charging discharging waveform. Along with we are going to see that how can we perform or what are the appropriate line that we have to write for performing the transient analysis. So here I have already written the code for the RC circuit in which we have to focus these two lines, that is for the voltage source and this dot trans statement. Rest of the code, the meaning of the lines of the rest of the code is already explained in the previous videos. So how can we apply a pulse source and how to perform transient analysis? For that we have to focus upon these two lines. First of all, let us understand that what this part of this statement means, that is pulse and followed by these specifications. So whenever we would write pulse in the code, the HSPICE would be able to understand that we are going to apply the pulse in the circuit, and I'm going to explain these specifications written in this bracket one by one. So if we write, there are 7 things in this bracket, 7 specifications, and each one has their own meaning. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So in the first position, it is the starting voltage. It means that from where the pulse should start, what is the starting voltage. In the second number, we have the peak voltage. Means that up to which value of the voltage the pulse should go at the maximum value. Now third, it is the delay. It is the delay that arises when the pulse will originate. So this is the origination delay, that when the pulse will start. So after what delay the pulse should start to form. In the fourth position, we have rise time. So rise time is nothing but the time for the pulse it takes to go from the starting voltage to the peak voltage. In this case, we have 0 and 1. So the time that it will take for the pulse to rise from 0 volt to the 1 volt, that will be the rise time. Similarly, in the fifth position, we have fall time. That is opposite to the rise time, in which the time taken by the pulse to reach or to decrease its value from the peak voltage to the starting voltage. That is the fall time. For sixth, we have the pulse width. The pulse width is the time up to which that pulse is sustaining its value at the peak voltage. So at seventh position, we have period. So period for the pulse is the total time for it to obtain to complete one whole cycle from going from the starting voltage to the peak voltage, and then again coming down to the starting voltage. So period can be explained like this. Suppose that this is the pulse. So this whole time taken for the pulse, that it has some delay while rising, and after this is the rise time, and this is the pulse width, that here it have sustained the peak voltage, and after that this is the fall time, and this is again the pulse width, and it's ended here. So this one cycle is the period. So these are the 7 specifications that we have to provide while writing a pulse code. So we have just done the same thing over here. So the voltage source is defined V1 here and applied between the nodes 1 and 0. That is a pulse, so it is a pulse in nature, that's why we have written pulse. So 0 is the starting voltage, that it will start from 0 volts. 1 is the peak voltage, that it will rise up to 1 volt. 0 is the delay time, so it will not take any delay to start the pulse, so it will be like this. If you say this is the t is equals to 0, and here t is equals to 0 is here. So as you can see, it is not taking any time for the pulse to form. So this we have 0 delay time, then we have 1 millisecond for the rise time, 1 millisecond for the fall time, and we have 4 millisecond for the period. So it means that this part is 4 millisecond, and this is the part for the rise time, that is 1 millisecond, and this is the part for the fall time, that is again 1 millisecond. After that we have 10 millisecond for the whole period. It means that this whole time interval is 10 millisecond. So I hope that you are able to understand the definition of all the parameters that are involved in this pulse definition. Now let us move upon to this line, that is dot tran 1m and 50m. Now for the dot tran statement, we have dot tran 1m 50m. So this dot tran is obviously for the transient analysis, as we were using dot dc for the dc analysis. Similarly, we are using dot tran for the transient, for doing the transient analysis. We have written 1m and 50m. So m here is standing for the milli. So it is 1 millisecond and 50 milliseconds. So this is the time interval at which the HSPICE should be checking the data. So as that we have T1 over here, T2 over here. So these are the time instances at which we are checking the voltage. Similarly, 1 millisecond is the time interval that in which that the HSPICE should check the data. That is, for example, if it is 0, then the second T2 will be 1, T3 will be 2, T4 will be 3. So at every 1 millisecond of the interval, every 1 millisecond of the interval, the HSPICE is checking the output data. So after 1 millisecond, at this instant of time, the HSPICE has checked the data or generated the data. So this is the time interval at which the HSPICE is checking the data. 50m, that is 50 millisecond, is the total number of time up to will the HSPICE should be running the program. It means that it has to generate the data or to analyze the data up to 50 milliseconds. So it is the total time of simulation. So it will run the simulation, or it will check the points uh, at every millisecond up to 50 milliseconds. So when so let's suppose that this whole time interval from 0 to T4 is 10 milliseconds. So when this whole time will rises or reaches the value of 50 millisecond, it will terminate the simulation or the analysis that it is doing. So I hope that you are able to understand this pulse statement as well as this trans statement. Now let us check the waveform that is generating after running this code in the HSPICE. So now we are going to see that what is the waveform that we are getting through the waveform viewer. Now this is the waveform that is generating in the waveform viewer. This is the pulse that we have generated or that we have applied as V1. This is the voltage coming in the V1 node. So we have applied this pulse, and you can see that there is some rise time. This is the rise time, and if you would just see that, it will be the fall time. So, and this is the pulse width, and this whole time taken would be called as period. So this is the pulse that we have applied, and this is the corresponding output through the capacitor that we are getting. As you can see, the capacitor in this up to this time is charging, and after that, we have, when the pulse is going low, the capacitor is discharging, and it is repeating itself. So it is charging and discharging, and you can see that the simulation is running up to 50 milliseconds, and after that it is terminating. So I hope that you are able to get the concept of transient analysis, and in the next video I am going to explain the AC analysis. Thank you so much.